There's a bombshell report out today in Think Progress detailing a lawsuit against the Arizona prison system. Apparently, the 10 prisons in Arizona are acting like the year is 1527 and they can just brutalize every single prisoner that's in their control. Quote, more than 33,000 inmates are filing a class action lawsuit against the state for being denied proper medical and mental health care while behind bars. So listen to this insane list of abuse and neglect. The prisons failed to hire enough medical staff, and they didn't care that they failed to hire enough medical staff. They denied inmates access to medical specialists that they needed. Okay, so not just like, hey, we need to have an ophthalmologist here or a podiatrist or whatever, a surgeon, brain surgeon, because something might happen. No, people needed specific kinds of surgeries from specialists. They needed them there, and they didn't have them there, okay? And they didn't make accommodations when they knew that they needed them. They refused to fill drug prescriptions? That's particularly fucked up. When you know somebody has a problem, whether it's physical or mental, and you don't refill the prescriptions. They even withheld basic mental health care to inmates suffering from suicidal thoughts and confirmed mental disorders. Quote, prisoners were being forced to wait years to receive treatment for health problems like fractured bones and broken teeth. And inmates were often held in solitary confinement in small windowless cells with the lights left on 24 hours a day. Okay, that's torture. That's torture. You can't do that to people. Have you ever had a fractured bone before? I had a hairline fracture on my clavicle. One of the most painful things I ever fucking experienced in my life. It was incredible. It was incredible how bad it was. Okay? We're talking people with fractured bones that didn't get medical treatment for years. They waited for years to receive treatment. That's torture. You can't do that to people, but it gets much worse. Quote, one inmate died from cancer after his pleas for medical attention were ignored for 2 years after his liver swelled to 4 times its natural size. A pregnant prisoner was left alone in solitary confinement while she suffered a miscarriage. After an inmate suffered a heart attack and was told to wait several days for a follow-up medical appointment, he had another heart attack and died the next day. A severely mentally ill inmate bled to death after his second suicide attempt as prison guards watched on and failed to intervene. This has to be historic levels of abuse. According to the Arizona Republic, at least 37 inmates needlessly died over the past several years as a result of the neglect. And the paper also reported that the suicide rate in Arizona's prisons is 60% higher than the national average, and half of those suicides occur among prisoners who are subjected to solitary confinement. Wow, man. Wow. Look, I oftentimes talk on the show about how, on the issue of criminal justice, I'm a moderate. I'm not a progressive on the issue of criminal justice. Okay, and I've had many instances where the people in the audience really vehemently disagreed with me. So one example is the European Parliament decided, the top court in the European Union decided that life in prison without the possibility of parole constitutes cruel and unusual punishment, and it's not allowed. So everybody in prison in Europe, at some point or another, has the option of maybe getting out. They have to go before a committee or whatever, and they have the possibility of maybe getting out. I disagree with that. I think there are some people that you should pretty much lock them up and throw away the key because they've demonstrated that they're beyond any hope of ever getting back, ever. And we've covered specific stories where I think that applies. People who fucking flush the intestines of little children that they killed down the toilet and then they eat their remains. Okay? Somebody who could only orgasm as they're stabbing little girls. You know? So many examples of just fucking monsters that have horrible problems that they're just these crazy mentality. And those people, I don't think they should ever have the chance of getting out. So look, I have credentials as a guy. Fucking Anders Breivik, the Norwegian terrorist who killed children. Was it like 80 people he killed, most of them children? This asshole complaining that my rights are being violated because I don't have access to a better video game system. They only give me a PS2 and I want a PS3. And I'm sitting there pulling my hair out like, no! It's insane to let that guy have, any level of comfort. I don't want to torture him, but I don't want him to be living in a positively happy environment where he can play video games and watch TV and work out and all these awesome stuff. Like, I want him to feel punishment for what he did. Some people are beyond rehabilitation. So look, I have bona fide credentials as a moderate on the issue of criminal justice. Don't get me wrong, I think the U.S. system is way too brutal. We go way too far in the other direction. But I'm somewhere in the middle, okay? But when we talk about this right here, the problem is we become the criminals. What don't people get about that? When you have the prison guards acting this way, no, motherfuckers, you are not the law. You are not the law. You are not the authority figures. You are not the good guys, dipshits. You are the bad guys. You are just as bad as the people that are locked up behind those bars, and I have no problem saying that whatsoever. If you could look at somebody committing suicide and you don't fucking do anything about it, you're a criminal, okay? You don't do anything about it? Somebody could tell you I have fractured bones and I need medical attention, and you say, fuck you, maybe in 2 years we'll take you. You're a fucking criminal. Okay, all these different examples of all these areas. Somebody has a heart attack, you don't give them medical treatment. A pregnant prisoner miscarries on the floor in solitary and you don't give a shit, you don't move. You are fucking criminals. And you know what? It's beyond unacceptable because you're doing it with our fucking tax dollars, okay? The good people of Arizona, their money is funding you for you to act like these insane criminals. Again, like we're living in the 1500s or some shit, and we believe in this level of, this insane type of criminal justice where it's not even justice. You just become criminals yourself. Okay, that's the problem. We don't want to become the devils that we're trying to avoid, and we are becoming that.